It's amazing. It's I'm on second hand.
Two. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Foundry616 for this anticipated gig by the Matt Baker Quartet. Before I go on to say a little bit about what's happening here in the Foundry and introduce the band, I'd like to just familiarise you with two things that we ask all audiences here to observe. The first thing we ask people here is to turn off your mobiles or put them onto silent and refrain from checking your messages in the middle of the set so the light goes up everywhere and completely stuffs the atmosphere. So that's just one thing, particularly if you've got those big loo mixers. The other thing we ask you to refrain from is to have long and loud discussions about the merits of the music while it's actually being played. Whether positive or negative. If you love it or if you hate it, wait till half time. The musicians will be on the floor, they'll be helpless. You can approach them and tell them what you think. Anyway, things coming up the Foundry. We're celebrating our second birthday this month, 2013, and actually Matt performed here very early on in the piece. I'm not quite sure whether it was the end of September or the end of October, but so I didn't check. But he was one of the early sort of important musicians who performed, who does not reside in Australia, and it was a great evening, and everybody enjoyed it. And of course, he was going to be back the following year, but he had a little accident and couldn't to his hand. Great things coming up here. Jazz Groove Mothership Orchestra is going to make one of its rare appearances on Monday week. The Sydney Jazz Orchestra is launching their CD on Monday. We've got Mike Dock celebrating his 75th birthday here on Friday, and the great band 10 Part Invention is on Saturday night. And it's also celebrating John Pochet's birthday, who's the leader of that band, but now is just the artistic director. He's not performing any longer, for a while anyway. So they're just a couple of the things that are happening here at the Foundry. And of course in October there's a program about to go up online, and in November we're the primary site of the Sydney International Women's Jazz Festival, which will feature this year a 5-piece group, all-women group from Cuba, led by the Canadian soprano player Jane Burnett, called Makwekwe, and also from New York, tenor player Mimi Jones and bass player Camille Thurman, who will be coming together with some local musicians to form a quartet. That's something to be anticipated, as well as the usual things, Jenna Cave, big band and other things. That's all in November. So anyway, let's go to the artist of the night, Matt Baker, who is certainly raising his profile in New York and the United States, and that's no easy thing, and something that we should all applaud and admire. There are lots of Australians in New York, lots of Australians in London and France. It's amazing, because we just can't seem to get the gigs developed here to keep people, and they challenge themselves, go overseas. Not everybody becomes a high-profile artist. Some have kind of disappeared, but are still making a very good living and performing regularly in America. But Matt's more than that. He really is beginning to headline, and that's a great thing for him. Tonight he's going to be joined by a bass player whose name we mustn't mention, and Cameron Reid on drums, Tim Clarkson on saxophones. One other request: please do not take photographs, please do not video. Right? We have an official videographer here, and that's all that will be allowed. This is at the request of the artists. Otherwise, please welcome the Matt Baker Quartet.
Whoa! Hey everybody, you all good?
Yeah.
Awesome, it's so exciting to be here. A friend of mine off stage just said, you look really nervous. And I said, I'm not nervous, I've just got all this energy. I've got this excitable energy. So I'm going to not talk and channel that all into playing. Please welcome again, on the drums, Mr. Cameron Reid. On the saxophone, Mr. Tim Clarkson. For Mr. Marco P on the double bass. Thank you so much. That's Tim Clarkson on the sax there. That was our little arrangement of Cherokee. Hope you enjoyed that. We're going to play a song off an album that I recorded a couple of years ago now, and we hope you enjoy this. This is, oh, that's what I had to do. Mr. Greg, could I have a little more piano in the piano wedge, and some more piano in that one, more piano in that one, and a little bit of sax in my wedge as well, please. Okay, we're all good. This is our arrangement again of Mood Indigo. Hope you enjoy it. And I think it's the first time that we've ever done it with saxophone as well. This is going to be really nice. Just, Greg, could we just go back to the piano? It's really, really loud here. Could we get it about a third of what that is? It was almost just great before. I needed like a mouse's whisper. Are you guys cool on the fallback? Less piano? Yeah. Can we just try it? So here's what we're doing tonight. I recorded a new album 3 weeks ago in New York, and I did the last recording, the last session there, about 4 days before I left. So it was done, and it was like that was it. And so in the first few days of my trip here, I was quite lucky to have some time off because they started sending me mixes, and so we listened to all the mixes of 14 tracks, and then write notes and do all this sort of stuff. Move a bass note here, move a drum hit there, and nothing on the piano, of course, but joking. And then I would send them back, and the producer would and the engineer would make the changes that we'd all have a listen again. So that went on for about 5 days, and it got mastered on Wednesday. So, and I actually haven't heard that yet, but it's now set in stone. So it's not available tonight, and that's still cool. But here's what we're going to do. There's a lot of announcement things that I'm going to make. At the front, where there are some CDs there, there's a mailing list, and I would love you guys to sign up, put your name and your email address down. I only send out an update once a month, but I can let you all know what's happening around the world and all about the album too, so that will be really cool. What we're going to do is, in the first set, play some music from the albums that are for sale tonight, and from Marco has a CD as well. And in the second set, we're going to play music off the new recording, and that will be the first public performance of it. So, thank you. With that said, we'd like to continue with another one that we love to play, and it's off the album Underground, and this is a song I wrote about when I first moved to New York, and then I started to go out in the scene and to jam sessions and jazz clubs and all those things. I started to live a nightlife, as you could imagine, but I also started to live a life underground. Everything in New York, in that world, is underground. The clubs, the jam sessions, the subway, everything. I just kind of spent my life underground. And the jazz clubs there were not just a club to go and then be kicked out of. For a lot of musicians, that was their home. They would be there every night. You'd often see or hear of someone sleeping there as well if they didn't have somewhere to go. So this is dedicated to all of those cats, and this song is called Refuge. You know what I feel like doing, and this is not in the set list, but I'd like you to make welcome again Mr. Marco P on the bass. He's going to play a feature song. He's going to play a beautiful ballad with the band, and it's called Body and Soul. It's Marco. As I said, Marco has a CD for sale, and tell me if this is right. It's a duet CD with another great Italian bassist. Is that correct? It's really funky. It's just bass heaven. I've heard it. It's awesome.
Bass heaven.
I'd like to welcome Tim back to the stage. Tim Clarkson, everyone. You know, there's a lot of special people here at the gig tonight. I want to make known my very first jazz piano teacher is here tonight, and it's so special to that we even came in contact again, and he's here tonight. He's not sitting anywhere where he'll be able to see the piano and see any mistakes, which is lucky. Oh no, he's right here, sorry. Tony Gardner's here, everybody. Also, there's, for those of you who have been around or, you know, for a while, back to the Soup Plus days in the late 90s and the early 2000s, there was a very special man who would come along to all the gigs, even when battling his health, and was a true supporter and would do things like, send gifts in the mail and tell you some great jazz history and all. It's one of those kind of guys who became a really loyal fan and supporter and friend. And I hadn't heard from him in a couple of years, and I knew his son as well. His son Ben is here tonight, and we said hi, and Ben said, "Do you know that my father passed away a couple of years ago?" And I said, "Oh man, I didn't know that at all. I'm really sorry to hear that." And he said, "But I've got something for you. He left you something in his will." And Ben had kept it all this time until we saw each other at a gig again, and he got it out, and it's a personally written and signed note by Fats Waller, Frank, and that's really beautiful. And thank you, Ben. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob. And I'm going to take that back to New York and put it on the shelf. So we're going to dedicate this song to Bob, and this song is called Claude's Blues. So tonight it's called Bob's Blues. Please thank Tim Clarkson for me on the saxophone. I think it's about time to close the first set. I'm kind of doing a rough time judge. Would that be about right? Cool, cool. We're going to end with another song that's on the album for sale tonight. And it's an arrangement we love to do of an old standard, and this is If I Were a Bell. Mr. Michael P. from New York City on the bass, Matt Becker on the piano. We'll see you very soon for our second step. Thank you.